Hello, beautiful people. Emily Alcina. I am the owner of Kind Therapy Ottawa, and I'm back with a Wellness Wisdom Fridays video. Today, I want to talk about gratitude and gratefulness. And in in my career as a psychotherapist, I have the fortune to listen to people's stories, and I get to reflect in what are they focusing on their stories. There's something so powerful about people's stories, and I know that I have been attracted to storytelling for a long time. I remembered growing up, and my favorite thing to do was to listen to the story from my family. We used to have these big events, like let's say Christmas or New Year's, and we were a lot of people. And we'll stay in one house. This is in Venezuela, right? So we'll stay one little house, all these people in one little house. You will sleep in whatever corner you will find in the house, right? No problem. Weather is beautiful. There is floor. We're good to go. So my favorite thing to do was to wake up in a very early time, and because you could start hearing people talking, they will start sharing their stories, and the story was usually about the night before, but then you will start hearing different people kind of waking up and like sharing their stories and what they saw from the place that they were standing the night before. So here you are listening to different versions of a story, but also the way that people are relating to the story is different. And this brought a lot of laughter and love. And so you wake up like kind of listening to these stories and just laughing and kind of reconnecting to the people around you. So this storytelling has always been a, like deep into my heart. It's been a passion of mine to listen to story. So as I do my therapy work, people get to tell me their life story, and I am fortunate that I can be there and be part of this sharing. And the one thing that I have been very curious about is how are people relating to their story, and is it possible that how are they relating to the story would make a difference in the way that they're healing, in their path of healing? Is it improving their mental health if they are relating to their story once again with this piece of gratefulness and gratitude? And the answer is yes. What I have experienced through my career is that depending of how people relate to their story, if they're relating to it with pockets of gratefulness and gratitude, they're able to heal much faster. They're able to continue, like they're able to get up. They have more resiliency. And I'm not saying that these people go out there and say, oh my God, it's so great that I had this thing that happened to me. This is just like, I appreciate that it happened to me. No, right? And I'm also not saying that it's easy for us to feel grateful and appreciative when we are in the middle of experiencing pain and going through a really difficult time. What I'm saying is that these people are able to find pockets of appreciation and gratitude while they are experiencing pain, or while they're recalling a story, or while they're sharing their story. The way that they're sharing it is with, this happens and it was painful, right? And I'm still recovering from it. And these also happen. And that's where the appreciation and gratefulness comes in. There is a difference between, let's say, you're an athlete, okay? So an athlete goes and performs and they lose. Two athletes, two different ways of relating to the story. One of them is, I felt this is so bad, I could have done better, I'm so bad, right? These like, I am in pain, I am disappointed, I'm frustrated, I attack myself, I should have done better, versus I'm disappointed, I'm sad, I wish that I would have get that medal, but I'm grateful that I was able to get into that competition. I'm grateful that my body is able to make it into this high level competition. And I know that maybe I can train my body so I can get better. So there is two forms, like who you think is going to recover faster from those feelings of disappointment and sadness. As you think about gratefulness and gratitude, think about your own life. Think about what has happened to you in your life and maybe pieces that you have missed about these pockets of gratefulness and gratitude. And sometimes a lot has to do with the people that showed up for you when that difficult thing was happening. Maybe someone was there for you. Maybe there was a phone call or a text message that you got while you were experiencing that remind you that love still existed. Maybe it was something that you did that you can appreciate. Maybe there is something about your body, maybe there is something about nature that was still present for you, even though that experience was very difficult. When I encounter people and they figure out that they find out, or I tell them that I am a psychotherapist, they're always like, their universal response is like, ooh, like that must be tough. That's a lot of negative things kind of being shared with you. So this is the way kind of they see it, and I don't necessarily see it that way. Yes, there's a lot of heavy trauma. There's a lot of sharing that is not necessarily in the same format that when I was back home, where we were sharing about light things and laughing about it. But the way I see it is that people are sharing these stories, and I'm not there sitting, oh my God, poor you, this is awful, like I'm affected emotionally like this should not happen to anyone. This is part of it. But I can also say, oh my God, the courage that it takes for someone to go through all of that and be here today, I'm in awe of that courage. The appreciation that I have for the people that come into my office, sit there in vulnerability and experience their emotion, and they sit with this pain and they open up their hearts to this pain. That's what I focus on. That's what gives me the light to continue to go through this work. I don't see it these awful things that are happening to people and now I'm affected by it. I see it as things are happening to people and people are getting up and people have the courage to confront their past and people want to be better. People want to learn about themselves. People want to grow. People want to heal. That's what I focus. That's what I feel grateful and appreciated about the job that I do. I get to focus on those little pockets of gratefulness and appreciation, acknowledging the beauty that each of these people bring into my office. So if you are not doing a gratefulness or gratitude practice, I do encourage you to start today. You can start with something simple like a little list, 5 to 10 things that you may feel grateful, appreciated about the night before. So you can do it in the morning. It could be a mental list. You can write it down. But the most important thing is to start your day with that list, so you can start to get your brain into thinking and reflecting and scanning for those things that you feel grateful and appreciative. So if you are not doing this right now, start today. It's super important and it makes a huge change into your life. There is a lot of power with these pockets of gratefulness and appreciation that you can find in your life, regardless of how tough things are at your end. Until next week.